All right, my friends, the beginning of what happened last year starts right here in these cursed woods. I've told you several times how bad these woods actually are. All the deaths, the murders, the crazy stuff that's happened, the unexplained deaths out here. And this is where it started last year. If you remember the last video that I uploaded, I was on the north side of what this area is called Horseshoe Bend. And for those of you who didn't see it or don't really remember, I suggest going back and watching, because you'll remember there's some footprints that I found, or what I thought might be footprints. Well, when I got to the south side, I found even more defined footprints, and that's where things started getting really weird. So while I'm gonna walk around here and see what I can find today, I'm gonna let you guys see the footage that I did shoot right before things started going left. What's up, everyone? All right, I made it to the south side of Horseshoe Bend today. We're gonna check this place out during the daytime, and I gotta tell you, after the 3 hurricanes last year, this place looks completely different. So it is going to be an interesting explore of a place we've been to a few times before, but it looks completely different now. Let's go ahead and get into it, my friends. That must have been a huge gust of wind that came through and pushed these. Look at that. This is about a 20-foot section of root ball that's pulled up. That one over there is probably 25 by 15. Looks like a whole bunch of little fish trapped in this pond that's gonna eventually dry up and go away. Those are either coyote tracks or really big raccoons. You can see like the finger, so I'm thinking that's just a really big raccoon. There's little animal tracks all the way around this little pond though. There's definitely food sources here. Not really sure what to make of these big, like this one again. It looks like there's a toe there, like toes, and it's at least this. Maybe the heel would have been here. It almost looks like there's another one right here too. And those are really big. I don't know what exactly those are. It looks like something was standing with both their feet. One here and one there. I swear I just heard a tree knock that way. And just for reference, like if I step right here, put all my weight on that, you can't even see where I just stepped. So the fact there's that big of indentions, that was something heavy standing there. This is definitely another one. Holy crap. And you can clearly define the heel, the foot here, the toes. Look at the toes. Let me get some more of this stuff out of the way. And this is my hand next to it. I mean, I can clearly see toes right there. It's just right in here, it looks like maybe they stepped on a harder section and their foot sunk in more. But this is super interesting, the way this break is right here. I don't see any sole patterns like a shoe or anything. So we have one here. Then there's two over there that look like they were just standing there looking this way. I'll step right over here. Put all my weight, I'm even jumping down on it. And look at how I barely, I'm 155 pounds, barely made a dent in that. So whatever did that is super heavy. And this appears to be another one here. This isn't like a normal place for people to walk around. This isn't, the trail doesn't come through here or anywhere close to here. So that's why this is so interesting to me, because A, this isn't a heavily trafficked area. B, I don't know anybody that's walking around barefoot in this stuff. You guys let me know what you think. Looks like it maybe coming from this way. All right, so we made it to the spot where there's the tree that's bent over and growing. You can see it here behind me. I mean, it's clearly, you can't really tell which side is which. That looks like the base, but that also looks like the base. But right now it's starting to come back. It looks like it lost a lot of leaves with the frost, but it's starting to come back. But yeah, this arch tree, usually I can walk out there, so it kind of gives you an idea of just how far the water's still up. And then I also noticed the water is flowing pretty quickly in here. So this was the area I was trying to get to from the north side, coming back this way. But as you can see, I was never going to make it across into this as much as I wanted to, because all that water I saw on that side is still on this side. But that's the mysterious place to me. You figure the last time I was here and did a necrophonic session, I was sitting down there in between those two trees. Wonder what he's warning me or warning something else that I'm out here. So those are some pretty solid footprints that I found. And I know a lot of you are going to say, why didn't you make casts of them? Well, the truth of the matter is, that's where things really started getting weird. I did try to make casts of them. I had my plaster with me, and I just needed water, which I came actually right there. Most dangerous damn thing I'll do all day. Scooped a cup full of water, put it in with my plaster, and then made my way back. And by the time I got back to the spot where the footprints were, the plaster was a complete solid brick. Now, just to show you how unnatural and how unlikely that actually is, we're going to start right here. I'm going to show you. Here's the water. And we're going to walk. I want to say it was somewhere right around in here, because it was right near this little pond, and it was before that pond. So it was somewhere right in here, like something had walked through this high section and walked through here, and then I think right over by that tree with the mark on it is where those two footprints were, like something was standing. So that's why I don't have casts of it, because, I mean, like I just showed you, the river is literally right there. I think that was a woodpecker. That was two ... That wasn't like... Yeah, I think that's a woodpecker. And hearing that lets you know when I hear those other noises that I call tree knocks, it's not a woodpecker, because that's very distinctive. But anyway, yes. Now you understand why. At first I was just really confused, because I literally, maybe 100 feet away, came here. The plaster was a complete brick, and I couldn't form the footprint mold. So that was what started it. And then from there, I walked out and went and got my car. And not even 50 feet down the road, my back tire blows out. And I end up having to drive almost 6-7 miles with a tire that only had about 15 pounds of air in it. I really don't know what happened. It just, all the air went out of it. It wouldn't hold air except for 15 pounds. And I took it, drove it home, then took the tire off, took the tire, got a new tire, got a spare tire, which basically that little bit of video that I shot cost me about $350 with buying a spare tire and, a spare rim and tire and a new tire. So there was all of that going on. And that took probably a good 3 days to get worked out, because honestly, where I live, the closest tire shop is 30 minutes away in either direction. So that kind of sucks. But that's why I didn't get to come back out here. And if I'm going to be honest with you, I was getting really frustrated with spending way more money to actually go out and shoot videos than I was making. So I was already in a frustrated spot. Then I had all that stuff back to back to back happen. And yeah, that's what started everything last year, was this video, this location, the weird stuff that happened after, which obviously could be coincidence, but just the frustration levels were already at an all-time high, and that kind of broke me. And then something else that happened without even realizing it is what kind of finished it off. But that's going to be the next video that I do, where I'll talk more about that, and it has to do with Susan's farmhouse. So I'm going to continue looking around here, see if I can find anything else. This place can be so beautiful during the day. It's amazing how creepy and out of control it is at night. I'm not a bird expert. It seems really weird to me to hear an owl during the day, though. I mean, it's like 12 o'clock, midday. So to hear an owl in the middle of the day, that seems weird to me. But I've heard one over here and one over here now. So maybe that's normal, I don't know. That's definitely an owl. Basically, this place, and it sounds so weird for me to say this because I personally have never had struggles with mental health stuff, but I feel like this place was sort of like a breaking point for me. Like, I just finally snapped here. I don't know. And it sounds weird because of the fact that I've never really had any issues and never really talked about any mental health stuff, but the next few episodes are definitely going to be dealing with that, because a lot of what I dealt with last year was actually from mental health type stuff. And it's a lot more real than you want to realize it is, especially when you have things messing with it that are beyond your control, basically. Something was just jumping back there, or something got thrown in the water. I don't know which. Huh. But yeah, it also, another reason why it's kind of weird is because a lot of the stories of this area out here are kind of the same. People moved out here for a better life, and this place just broke them. A lot of them lost their lives out here. A lot of them lost their livelihoods out here. That's why at least this 4 or 5 mile section of the river, a lot of people consider to be cursed. Many other parts of this river, up and down this river, there's actually businesses, houses, all sorts of stuff. This area, there used to be a town and everything, and nothing anymore. And a lot of the necrophonic spirit talking sessions that we've done out here, that's a lot of the stuff you hear too. A lot of pain, a lot of put all my life into this and I lost it. So I don't know. It's something that I'm wanting to talk about, yet something that I'm going to probably struggle to talk about because I don't really know how to explain a lot of it, other than it just made me want to give up. And that's not a normal thing for me. So I definitely would suggest that you guys protect your mental health, pay attention to your mental well-being, whether it's meditating, prayer, whatever you guys need to keep yourself sane in this world that we live in nowadays, without having this kind of crap on top of it. But yeah, whatever you guys need to do, I hope you guys are doing it. It's actually crazy how much water there still is back here. Now, of course, the last time I was here, the water was up to here. This was all underwater. As was, here's that tree. The infamous, which side is it growing out of the ground tree. And you remember the water was all the way up underneath it here. But yeah, I mean, during the day you can really see. Both sides of this tree have a trunk, so. And what was weird is there was one on the other side of this that also was growing like that, almost like they were both entryways into whatever this weird area is back here that I still have yet to be able to penetrate. I mean, you can see just how much thicker it gets back there. Every time I get near going into this place, there's some sort of animal that freaks out. That just came out of nowhere as soon as I made it over here. When I was here, even the last year in the video I just showed you, there was a hawk flying around screaming. It's very weird. So before we go, I do want to talk about those footprints though, my friends, because that's probably the best set of footprints I've ever found. I'm so mad that I didn't get to make a cast of those footprints, but I want to know what you guys' thoughts are on them. I would say, based on my hand next to them and that stuff, they were probably 17, 18 inches. Pretty big size foot, not normal human size foot. Especially not normal human-sized foot to be walking around in these woods barefoot. So that's really interesting to me anyway. But that is kind of what started all of it, is I found those perfect footprints and it all went downhill from there. So you guys let me know in the comments what you think. I will see you very soon to talk about Susan's farmhouse and the rest of the mental health stuff that goes along with all of that next video, my friends. Much love.